Hey everyone. Thanks, Kai, for live stream.
Hi.
Everyone, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're located.
Good day.
Are you guys back from your break, or do you still need a moment?
Guten Tag.
Hello. Danny, cool background.
Thanks. It's my daughter's house, filled with things that used to be in my house.
Oh, precious.
Yeah.
Ashley, I liked that cool hat you had on, take it off for the conference call. That's awesome. Rad.
It's Back to the Future hat, like Marty McFly.
Uh-huh. That's awesome. Okay, let me share my screen with y'all. Okay. All right. Can everyone see the community call agenda and Notion that I'm sharing? Looks like
Yep,
it.
I can see it.
Awesome. Beautiful. So to kick off today, we'll do our check-ins. Anything that you would like to have added to the agenda, like a brief bullet point or something you want to make sure that we get to today, mention that, and then have an opportunity to do some popcorn praise of your fellow contributors on your turn. Who would like to go first?
I can go first if nobody wants to. Praise, huh? I give praise to James, who is really pushing stuff all the time and worries about the hard things. I liked it very much. Praise James. Yeah, I want to praise all the rest of you guys for doing this with me and us together. Oh yeah, should I give it to someone? And I give it to Donnie.
Hello. I don't really have any updates other than I just was traveling for this last week. So if you pinged, you got an answer, but I didn't really look at it. And my praise is going to go to Tommy because I keep seeing him popping up and speaking about the things that I would like to address next. So especially like the POAP and the ret mitigation. And I'll pass it to Tommy.
Okay, speaking of, thank you, Danny. I will praise Matteo because I think XDI is really awesome. And something I would like to know is there anywhere besides the link that I just posted in the chat for graphic assets, logos? I'm trying to add some logos to CryptoVoxel, and I was just curious if there's anything else besides the ones we have on Google Drive. And I think I'll keep that short and I'll pass it to Ashley.
Hello. I definitely want to praise the dev team for getting all these last minute things in before public launch and knowing we'll have a lot more clarity on what we offer as far as functionality. I want to give praise to Lauren because she's been hacking away with me at this long list of emails for Giveth 1, and it's kind of like grueling work, but we're in it together, makes it easier to do. And I guess the only update I really have or wanted to talk about is Magenta and I've been speaking with Niran from Panvala, talking about forming a coalition, like a regenerative coalition, and maybe just kind of like see how you guys feel about that. We were thinking maybe Common Stack, Giveth, and Bloom Network could all team up to form a regenerative coalition. Maybe that's not the right label, or what we should have the label. Philanthropy is kind of broad, so Neuron says we can change the label at any point if the coalition starts to evolve, so that's not like a huge factor, but I don't know, just kind of talk about that and see what you guys thought. And so I think that's all I got, and I will pass it to Lauren.
And just to jump in before you take it, Lauren, Ashley, to answer your question, since we had decided to make these calls more update and status based and not where we actually make decisions, that's something that you can bring up in the governance call or in Discord, and we can vote on it and give our input there.
Still worthy of an agenda item, even without a decision being made, though, doesn't it?
Okay.
Okay, so my updates, well, I don't have any major updates except like I was out all this week traveling, and then I was like super sick yesterday, and today I'm like still kind of sick. And my praise goes to Forrest for keeping things balanced and always running a really smooth meeting, and also reminding me of the importance of self-care. And I'll pass it to August.
Hey guys, how you doing? Wait, so can you remind me again? We're doing just kind of a brief little update for the week.
August.
Sorry, I was on mute. So if there's anything that you want to make sure we discuss on the agenda, you can mention it now as a point to pin for later. And then if you want to praise anyone on the team, now's a good opportunity.
Well, just I'm coordinating for the campaign for this week, so I want to kind of get some feedback on that and hear your guys' thoughts. And then other than that, just want to praise thank you, Mitch, for working together with me on this for the campaign.
And would you like to pass the mic to someone who hasn't gone yet?
Sure. Sorry, I'm joining a little bit late. Who hasn't have Danielle gone?
Nope. I think Griff and James, Willie, Mateo haven't gone. Amin, Mitch.
Okay. Hey, Griff, would you like to go?
Absolutely. So much praise.
Sweet.
I want to praise Mateo also for the XDI movement. Super awesome. I can't believe how quickly that's coming along. Also want to praise James for the product backlog prioritization. You know, I know that's a lot of work, a lot more work than it seems. The impact is huge. I want to praise Willie and for really diving into the project staking like MVP strategy with me, and also like all the endless work on the Give token, like airdrop, and just like kind of moving data around, copy pasting every single ZK sync transaction, you know, these sorts of things. And Forrest for helping me, babysitting me, and just helping to help me make time to like get the Giveth stuff done. And yeah, and then for sure the Giveth One team, Mohammed from the Giveth One team is really killing it, guys. You wouldn't believe how much work he's getting done. And Amin also Amin's become half dev, half HR, half manager. So he's really stepping in to fill all the gaps. And yeah, he's 150%. That's it. That's the thing. That's real. I'll pass it to Willie. Did Willie go?
I haven't gone, but I feel like mine's just going to be a repeat of yours. I'll just like you just nailed it there with all the praise. I agree with all that praise, and yeah, just mega praise to James, Kai, Amin, Mateo on the dev team for all the progress this past week. Praise to the marketing team. Really awesome just to see you guys collaborating together to get Giveth ready for launch. Well, I've been heads down with Griff and with Forrest and Edu working on the token stuff. You guys are really keeping the train moving forward. And yeah, praise to Forrest for her help organizing the Give token stuff, as well as all the other amazing stuff she does. Definitely, she deserves a lot of props for keeping the ball moving forward with the gift token strategy, which I'm getting so excited for. And I will pass it to James.
Thanks, Willie. Yeah, I'd like to give praise to Matteo for the lovely surprise of X-Dye. It shows someone cares when they just pull it out the bag like that, and that they know it's important, and like they know it's high impact. And yeah, sweet. Thanks, man. He's always getting stuff done also. Like he's just crunching through things. It's super great. I also want to give a shout out to Amin, who is well known for being the sort of, you know, the quiet hero in the background there. Like it's often the case, like you guys don't know about this, that I have a problem that I'm really struggling with, and he's always there, like, and responds like super quickly to me, no matter what time it is. I can't even imagine what time it is in Iran, but he's always there, and he's always doing his best to help me out there. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Amin and all of the rest of you beautiful people. Thank you. And I pass it to, wow, Amin. Yeah, how about that?
Hello. Thank you all. Praise me much. I'm significant me of 150% of a man. And this was fun, and thank you, man. I want to praise everyone because I don't know much about the details, but I saw that James was working hard and fixing the issues of the Giveth to uploading picture, and it was awesome. It was working continuously to make it fixed very soon. Yeah, I don't have anything to add. Everyone has said what should be said, and yeah, I'm finished. And is there anyone not said, not praised?
I think that Mitch and Magenta haven't gone, and myself.
Oh, I pass it to Mitch. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'd like to give big praise to the devs, Matteo and James, especially for getting ERC20 token support confirmed, getting the fiat on-ramping working and confirmed, and especially to Matteo for the great news about X-Dye. Am I still able to add things to the agenda, or is that?
Yep.
Okay, I have a couple points here that I wanted to talk about in the community call. Piggybacking on what Tommy said, I'm looking for some high quality PNGs of the Giveth 2 stuff that we made. I think that came from Marco. I'm wondering where I can get it. Also talking about how we want to deal with all the weird projects popping up on Giveth.io. You know, how we want to go forward with that. And then talking about possibly getting paid in a stable coin, or maybe even getting paid on X-Dye. What are some thoughts around that? Because I mean, you know, everyone's probably seen that, you know, things are tanking. So like we took a snapshot and then everything went down 35, 40%. So I mean, you know, we've run into these problems before, and maybe we should talk about it.
Awesome.
And I will pass it to Magenta.
Hi. I'll just praise you all because I'm still a little bit satellite molecule to Giveth over here. Yeah, I want to check in on the marketing launch timeline for Q1 at some point in the agenda. That's all. That's it first.
Thank you. Let me see if my microphone is on. It is. Perfect. Yeah, I don't have any agenda bullets to add, but I'm going to copy these ones in below to make sure we discuss them all. And yeah, lots of praise for everyone. Sounds like the dev team has been absolutely kicking booty. I'm really glad to hear about yeah, these features that are going to be looped into our official launch. That's super exciting. Lots of praise to Griff and Willie for all of your hard work on the Give token and all the hack sessions you guys have been doing. I'd like to praise the badass Costa Rica team. Shout out to everyone on marketing. We've been having some super productive meetings, and I'm like really proud of all the content and strategy that's going on there. Special praise to Mitch for never missing a beat. I think he's been on every single marketing call, and he's always got like a lot of helpful guiding questions to ask and fresh ideas. So yeah, special praise to you. Thanks, you guys. Anyone, any other questions or bullet points to add to the agenda? Burning shares before we get into it? Okay. And Mitch, Willie just shared a file in the group chat. So maybe ping and let us know if that resolves that one, and I'll take it off the agenda. Okay. Is there any for the agenda? We'll walk through. I'll take good notes. As far as the Giveth rotation DAO, is there like voting on anything that we'd like to highlight here? Are there any updates, Willie or Dan, that you're aware of that you'd like to call attention to right now?
There's no proposals up right now that I know of. There was one proposal that I think didn't pass. I think we talked about this the last governance call, but a proposal to reduce the meeting time was proposed, but didn't get enough support. So if we still want to consider that, we can create a new proposal. And then best practices, I guess, just for everyone on the call, when you create a proposal in the DAO that you want to get eyes on, is to post it in the DAO channel in Discord and tag the DAO group, so that everyone who can vote is aware that there's a proposal up there to vote on. No proposals currently active, I just checked. But let's get a proposal up there ASAP for paying out February contributors. It's the last day of the month. We were super behind this past month for January contributors, so we'll try to get ahead of that this month. And then another proposal that will be coming up soon is to approve the list of airdrop recipients that we've been putting together. So that will definitely go through the DAO as well. I know we're aiming to have that ready for the governance call for tomorrow, but it's not ready yet. So it's a goal, but hopefully we'll have that ready soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Willie. Anything else? Okay. Some quick updates on the Give token. As always, we've got some good key reference documents here if you want to dig in with more detail. Those are all hyperlinked. The big updates, we are well into Sprint 2. Edu, our dev, is working on testing smart contracts and UI for airdrop, vesting, and liquidity mining. Griff and Willie are currently reviewing what Edu has shared with them before opening it up for potentially greater testing. The UX, airdrop, vesting, and liquidity mining are in progress. We made a lot of progress on our airdrop list of donors. Most of the list has been curated. We've got our DJ, Mr. Boyfriend, Bowen, going through those lists and adding in contact information and filling in some of the gaps. And as Willie just mentioned, aiming to propose this final list on the next governance call, but if it's not ready for that tomorrow, stay tuned and it will be shared as soon as possible. The next steps are that this coming Tuesday, we are doing our celebration and debrief review of our second sprint, and then doing our planning for our third sprint, which will kick off on Wednesday. It's important for us. This is a flag for the marketing team. It's important since we are making a lot of progress, and marketing and promotion for the Give token will likely be coming around the bend. It's important that we complete those GitHub issues around the core narrative and messages that we want to share with the world at launch. And then, Willie also brought up working on what will our launch, our more thorough launch blog post to look like. So he'll probably join one of our marketing calls or give me, some points that we can discuss on Tuesday or Friday's marketing call around like an outline for that post and who would like to run with that. And then just some notes here for the dev team, we can obviously dig into this later, but just again, kind of like this is coming around the bend. Be aware of. We'll need to start logging donations in USD value at the time of donation, and to get ready for project verification and application flow. We'll get this project scoped and hopefully begin working with Marco on UI and UX mockups. Willie or Griff, is there anything else that you'd like to add in as an update on the Give token?
I think you nailed it. I think those are the important key pieces to share. Anything you want to add, though, Griff?
Sorry, I couldn't really hear that. I think I have a bad connection. But
that's okay. We shared, I have it up on the screen, what I shared as far as like the big key updates and the next steps for the Give token. And just wanted to ask if you had anything else that you would like to add before we move on.
Oh yeah. Well, the liquidity mining is open for business. I'll share the link in our DApp node channel and our private DApp node channel. So if you guys want to play with it, there's also a DGen UX channel that if you guys have any favorite liquidity mining like buttons that you've clicked or flows that you've had, DM me and I'll add you to the Telegram channel where we're discussing the different UX options for the liquidity mining program. And the other big one is Bowen is down to start helping and join the team. He's going to start first by chasing down addresses for contributors. And then after that, we'll see what else we want to throw him on. But he's got hours, so I'm excited to get him back in the fold because he's a real Giveth OG. And he's continued to, every time he received money out of Giveth Trace, Bowen clicked a button to make it happen. So he's a very active member, behind the scenes hero. I think those are all my updates.
Awesome. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. So then DApp updates, issues, requests. Amin, would you like to walk us through Giveth Trace?
On Giveth Trace, we have implemented few forms of the new proposing milestone. You know, they are modern and designed by Marco, and we have implemented the front end, and we finally implemented one of the milestone types creation forms. Should be, if you see that, it's interesting, and it makes that creating milestone very easy. We've onboarded a new user, a new front-end developer. It's new. He's just we have a talk just today. I'm seeking for hiring a product manager, but I wasn't successful yet. And about Mehmet, implementation was his progress, and we have implemented the new user role management is somehow done, and yeah, I don't remember. Sorry, I just checking, but that was the most important change. You hear me?
Yeah, I have a question about Giveth Trace. Once you're done with updates.
Of course, can ask.
What do we? So I was thinking about what else we want to be talking about with the DAO, and the question came to my mind about when do we move from beta to trace, and what all needs to happen in order to do that effectively.
That's the reason we are searching for a product manager. We can ask, we can define that whenever we have closed the borders and don't add any feature anymore. And yeah, adding these adding these new forms and implementing new ways of proposing milestones has taken much time from me. We are after that. We have few issues we should be solved. We should test. We have changed the code very much. We should test, and if we don't add anything, we are ready to make it trace. But we should work hard, because as many users come, as new users come, and maybe some bad users and malicious users will try to manipulate our data, and after that we will find the vulnerabilities and holes, and we should keep our eyes open and fix the issues very fast. So whenever we decide that, we should say that stop adding any new feature. That's the important part. So if we are satisfied with current features, we should go that after. If we test for 1 or 2 weeks and say, okay, everything works fine, let's go forward and make it trace. It's not better.
Yeah, I think from code side, so does everybody agree we still want to maintain it as a whitelisted version, right? I don't think anybody's advocating that we would take that out.
Sorry, what about whitelist?
I think we want to keep that, right? There isn't anybody who's been asking for us not to have people have to request to be whitelisted to give a trace.
We have implemented all that in database and technically, and as a user, you are admin. Kai, we made you, Kai, gave me admin, and everyone reached to you, and you trust them. You can just navigate to his profile page and just update his role. His his permissions. So we have 3 types of permission: DAC owner, project owner, which is campaign owner technically, and reviewer. So we don't need to connect to the server to change its config file. Yeah, and it would be very easy for you, and has better performance for application, because it needs some search in the config file every time that someone needs to fetch the information of the user. Yeah.
Nice.
Danny, to answer your initial question, I would be very surprised if that migration, if we would be out of beta in a month. Personally, I'd be very surprised. That'd blow my mind. I would expect more like 2 months. There's one big. There's 3 issues that need to be addressed. The first is just, hey, there hasn't been any critical issues for a month.
Right.
The second metric is, are milestones easy to make? And then there's kind of a third new one, the fact that we're paying basically like $50 in gas per person every time someone pulls money out on average. So that's so if we expand users, that's quite the drain on our funds, and we need to really kind of think about how we manage that. Yeah,
that's probably the biggest one, huh?
It's the biggest one that doesn't have a clear answer, that's for sure.
Yeah. Right. So. Okay, thank you. I feel complete.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Good questions, Danny. And Amin, is there anything else that you'd like to add around trace?
Nothing more to add. If we want, I just say that application may work, but it's different than having lots of user on it. Technically, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. All right, and then moving on to the new Giveth application. James, would you like to share some of the latest updates?
Mateo's going to share our updates this week.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. For this week, there was a lot of progress in the application. We were expecting to make the staging update today, but we encountered a couple of errors and stuff that we had to fix before doing that. So in that sense, the expectation is to leave tomorrow staging usable for you to test and set like a ground to see if it's good enough to put it live. So if something wrong happens between tomorrow and Tuesday, we could fix it instantly and make it probably to, or more likely to Wednesday to make an update for Giveth 2 live version. So in that sense, in this new update, everything that was supposed to be in there as critical for launch will be there, and with a couple of new additions that are the XDAI and the ERC20 token donations that most that you already know is happening. Everything else after Wednesday is more likely to be a code freeze, and yeah, whatever is there should be there for a while, and we keep the progress as regular as we plan them in the sprint over the dev meetings and such. So yeah, to keep it quick is that tomorrow staging will be updated. We will be telling everybody about that. So test everything new, everything old that hopefully will still be working, and after that, yeah, we can make it on Wednesday more realistically. If everything goes really well by Tuesday, that can be also a good day But I believe that on the dev call on Wednesday, we should be either saying let's go live or what. But yeah, hopefully we will go live on Wednesday. I don't know if I'm missing something, James, or.
Yeah, I mean, so that's roughly it. I would say, like, we would really love, like, latest Thursday to make this happen. I'm just aware that Magenta posted in the marketing channel that there was some confusion around this launch running on forever. And I just want to address that and say, like, it's true that we've been rolling on week after week a little bit, but at this point, like, we are not building any more functionality. We're finishing what we have, and we really want to get something out this week. And I will keep you updated, Magenta. And if there's anybody else who needs to know and needs to plan these things, can you please let me know, either now or say a message on Discord?
I mean, I think it's relevant for the whole marketing team to know when it's going to launch. So as long as you can keep us updated in the Discord channel, then everybody can see it.
Okay, cool. And do you need to know like 1 day in advance, or like just, I mean, of course, we try to keep you as live updated as possible, but like, is there like a minimum amount of notice you need or something?
For sure, if you can at least tell us the day before, like, no, don't tell us day of, tell us the day before, because we have content drafted, and for example, like the day of launch, we have a YouTube video that we need to upload to YouTube, and then we need to like embed that and publish it on Medium so that everything is published on the same date as the date that we're launching. So we just need a heads up to be able to set that up, for example.
Okay.
Maybe I would just suggest, instead of forcing the dev team to predict when they're done, they just say that they're done, and then marketing it adds extra time. And whatever time you guys need is good, but when, sometimes the estimations are really difficult. 1 comma can take a day to fix, so I would just say, that's what my recommendation. Marketing has their own requirements, and it's just a part of the process, just like testing is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At the end, we can dictate when it launches.
Yeah, I mean, actually, exactly, right? Like, ultimately, like, we're going to deploy for testing tomorrow. Like, if all goes well, we could be super ready by Tuesday, hypothetically, right? But like, we're going to put some buffer on there. We're going to say Wednesday. We really want to do it Thursday. and if it makes sense, we do it then. But I just want to communicate to you guys that like we are aware that there is coordination needed, and we don't want to put, you know, we're a team, right? So like, yeah, we will do our best on that.
And just to clarify, that sounds perfect. Definitely agree. Wait till you guys are done, and then, you know. The question I had about timeline is if we're going for, say, like, you know, a week-long concentrated sprint of launch messaging, or if we're kind of, you know, because new projects will be added as we do announcements, probably they'll be like, oh, you know, we can join this platform. And I'm wondering if there's like a longer window of when we're doing, you know, more concentrated messaging of Giveth 2 is live, come join, set up a project, telling people about it, you know, reposting the hype video and stuff like that.
That's a good question. I don't. Yeah, that's definitely something we should plan, right? I don't know. I guess is that more for the marketing team than the dev team, perhaps?
Yeah, sounds good.
It could be. Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys. Okay, and then Mateo, when you were sharing your updates about the new application, you mentioned that you have everything that's critical for launch included with a few additions, and I want to make sure I captured that correctly. I heard you say XDAI, and I overheard some stuff on the last dev call, but can you just confirm the additions besides XDAI?
Yeah, as critical for launch, there was the need for making possible donations through ERC20 tokens, and that was not expected for release when we talk about it. So that was critical after the first release that we made. So it's essentially that. Something related to removing projects, giving the project owner the ability to remove them. And maybe I'm missing something else, but those are the three main that are visible, because there are other additions that are purely technical, just as server-side rendering and other stuff. But yeah, so I think that the XDAI and ERC20 token donations and the ability to remove projects are the main ones.
Okay, perfect. That's super helpful. Thank you. Okay, and then this feels like a good time to chat about the question that Mitch brought up in his check-in, which is these weird projects that have been popping up, how to deal with those. You know, do we want to have some sort of like application process? Do we prefer to talk about this in a different meeting, or is this something that we want to put a couple minutes to at this moment?
I do think this is the type of topic that is worthy of, we can talk about it for a minute here, but it probably is worthy of a larger discussion. Do we think, if we think any immediate changes are needed, we could discuss that, but my personal opinion on this is that we do not need to make any immediate changes here. And my long-term opinion here is that we should try to avoid Giveth, you know, being the decision maker on which projects can be added or not, as much as we can. So I'm interested in ways that we can do this automatically, basically. And without having to I don't want to put a wall up in front of projects to get listed. Ideally, any project can list themselves, and you know, the community and the crowd, the users can actually curate which projects show up on top. If there's a really weird project that does get posted, ideally that just, you know, gets ranked down to the bottom, basically. And maybe we can put in place some cool things where, like, if a project's inactive, doesn't have any activity for 60 days, it gets archived or something so that it's not showing up. But yeah, I think there's more. The issue is more around just like ranking and sorting and making sure that the best projects, the most legit projects, are showing up on top. that way we won't have to worry about these weird projects at least showing up on like the homepage. That's my quick 2 cents, and I do agree that this is worth a larger discussion, but I think it's too big for us to solve on this community call.
I was also thinking, maybe it's not something that needs to be done right away, but it might be helpful to break up the creation flow to where instead of just one big box of like, what's your project about, we could have separate questions, like more clarifying questions, and that would be more helpful for the creators to like, what does your organization stand for? Like, what's the problem you're solving? What's your solution? What's your budget trajectory? So maybe there's like a little more clarifying questions that would help them to build a more robust kind of like description of their project. And that might be helpful.
I also think there is a lot we can do on the guiding our users front. Just clicking through some of those weird milestones, like they're actually pretty heartbreaking. And what I see though is that it's very hard to make to see if it's real. Like that's also why we have different measures on the what we now call Giveth trace. We have a reviewer, and it's like you have to come to us before you make a project, so we don't have, or before you make a milestone, so we don't have these bad milestones, so to say. So it would be cool to open that discussion also very soon. Like, how can we, make sure that people who are legit and trying to raise money come across as legit, and filter out the bad ones.
I think that's really well said. I mean, like ultimately, it's not about like being the people who decide who should be able to post their project or not, right? For me, it's about the quality of the proposal itself or the quality of the project information, right? Like a lot of these are just, they have no description even, like, no image, 1 or 2 word title and things like this. And I think we definitely need a short-term solution to be able to, we don't want to launch with a load of crap on a website, I would say is the main motivation here. And I think it certainly could be a whole meeting. We could talk about it at length, but I think at a minimum, like as soon as possible, we need some mechanism for even me or Matteo or Kai or someone to just delete a project or hide it or something. So it's about quality. It's not about judging what should and should not be able to find funding, I would say, is my main gripe ultimately. And a lot of this stuff appears, it looks like it's people just experimenting to see what happens if they click buttons, right? So yeah, we could talk about this for quite a while, but that's my take on.
Yeah, I think it's some good thoughts for now. I think anyone's welcome to kind of create a proposal too. Maybe that's the good next step, is if someone has an idea for how we could, any quick wins, we can make that proposal in GitHub and then discuss it as a group. I do think for like a quick win and stuff, I am really worried. Like we do have the policy in place. We've agreed that if a project posts and pretends to be somebody else, we will delete. So there is that in place. Like if someone's committing fraud or pretending to be someone they're not, we've agreed that we can delete those projects. I'm a little reluctant for us to just, again, start judging the quality of a project even. Like, do we really want to take on that responsibility to decide which projects are quality and which aren't? Maybe, but I'm reluctant to take on that responsibility. I am curious what we can do. I do hear your point though, that we don't want to crap projects on the homepage or like showing up high when we launch. So, but I think we can hopefully put something quick in place, like just the projects that have the most hearts show up on top. That's something that we can move quickly on. That would at least put those other projects to the very, very bottom of the list. I think it's a good place for us to start.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for your feed forward. And yes, I agree with Willie's suggestion that a good next step is based on this feedback. If someone would like, or even multiple people, to create a proposal that features a solution to resolve this challenge, then we can all vote on it and give our input and move forward with something. Yeah, and I suggest it would be great to do that sooner rather than later, since we have our launch proposed for Wednesday. I do agree having a high quality content is important, especially when we're launching and going to have a lot of eyeballs there. Any other closing thoughts or key highlights of the new application before we move on to ops? Okay, Kai, take it away.
Yes. Little updates. Did more on the TEC front this week than on Giveth for the bridging stuff. We have a new channel to the Token Engineering Commons. So say hello over there if you want. Cool project. They need a whole Discord to be filled. So you can go there and talk. Also, something that's actually almost a week old now because I did it right after the meeting is updating SourceCred. There were some users like what we call the Costa Rica crew that's not only in Costa Rica anymore now, but you will stay in our heart of Costa Rica, Costa Rican heart. And you guys did not I had to link your accounts. That's what you do on other channels like Metagame in the channel, but we don't have that bot yet. I really tried to get it for some time. It's hard. So we have now better scores. Like Mitch is pretty cool. Look at this rise, and of course everybody is here. Ashley, Forrest, Lauren, Tommy, Magenta. Yeah, that's pretty much the update. So you guys have a higher cred score now. But even for the last distribution, Willie told me that he already knew or he was suspecting I didn't merge these values yet. So he did it manually and it worked out great, I think. And just because I said it before, and it's interesting, and I think this is the end of the call anyway, just let me give you one example, which I just stumbled upon now, but it's fascinating for me. So I come here, and basically what I want to know, right, is who is this guy? I want to know if he's legit. Like, where is it? I'm looking for Stavros. If you know who Stavros is, please tell me. What's just
Another one you're looking for. Another one you're looking for.
You know, oh, this one, total life changer. This just broke my heart by reading it. And this is exactly what I think is pretty awesome about this application. But so I'm a person that likes to believe people. So of course I believe this text, but I just need a little bit, like if I just saw like a picture of the teeth, and that's like, so I did think now for a few minutes, like how would we help this guy? And it would be so cool if I could send him a message and say, hey, I really like your campaign. It would be awesome to get maybe more pictures because it's a personal campaign. You don't have a website like an organization has a website and that's easier, but you, Stavros, have no website. So how can I tell you're real? And if you add this and this and this, that would make it more real. And yeah, so that's maybe my short proposal for this. So I don't have to write it out in Discord later. To have a communication channel between us and the project creators.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just really cool. Like this guy only needs money, and it's something you can get on Giveth, I guess.
I think it's a great feature request. Guy is the communication channel between donors and projects. So these are the exact type of feature requests we're hoping to get with real users, including ourselves, using the app.
Just some things you only see. It's crazy, but yeah, you see it just easier when you're working with it, I guess. Otherwise, no updates from ops. Yeah, little thing on the servers, but James fixed it without me.
Okay. Thank you, Kai, for the updates. Can you guys see my Notion screen still?
Yes.
I think so. Okay. Just going to put this here. Okay, so then just to dig into marketing real quick, we've got 10 minutes left. As always, you've got some hyperlinks to our marketing folder, our living Q&A document, content calendar, and the Giveth planning board, where you can look into, all the nitty-gritty rich content that we're working on. Just some key updates. We've got our badass hype video complete, which will launch the morning or day of launch, assuming that'll be Wednesday or sometime this week. We are working on a lot of great short and long blog content creation for Medium and as well for Reddit and Twitter, especially. Mitch and August are working on a cool social good social media interactive campaign. We're also in the midst of kind of strategizing on the rebranded voice and persona of Giveth, especially after launching this more upbeat and punchy hype video. And Ashley especially has been taking the charge on organizing and expanding our outreach lists, which we've got a few people hacking on. And the big next steps are just getting ready in general for the new Giveth application launch, as well as beginning to brainstorm on content for the Give token economy, recognizing that, in many ways, that is kind of the next focus coming around the pike. August, I know you had a request to share an update around the social good social media campaign on this call. So we've got a couple of minutes now if you'd like to take the floor for that. And I just want to mention there's one other topic request. So maybe if we could just keep this one to like 5 minutes, would be great. August, are you still with us? I think you're on mute. Otherwise, maybe Mitch, do you have any updates that you want to share on that? Are there any
August put in the
questions?
chat that he can't talk at the moment.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
No updates. I just managed to get a hold of August like today. So hopefully we're going on that. I just want to say that hopefully I can take this social media campaign idea and blast it onto Reddit sometime after launch. But again, we still need to figure out more of the details.
Awesome.
I think when you put it on Reddit too, Mitch, especially because we're going to have X Moon available now, it might be cool to mention that since Redditors get Moon.
I'm not sure what X Moon is, but I can look into it.
Yeah, and look at Moon token too. You get awarded Moon on Reddit, and then you can bridge it to X Moon, and then you can donate with it, apparently.
Cool.
Awesome. That sounds cool, Tommy. Yeah, maybe you and Mitch can connect on that to make sure we've got the right copy in there. Okay, cool. Well, Mitch and August, if you need any feed forward from the team, obviously you can always post in the marketing channel, or, tag specific people that you want to have take a look. Okay, anyone else from the marketing team want to mention anything about marketing strategy or updates before we move on to payments question?
I feel like I've mentioned it a little bit, maybe in the dev call, but I got permission from like 30 different parcels in CryptoVoxel, and I guess Magenta's helping me right now to work on the right file format logo, and those should go up either today or tomorrow as little posters on people's buildings for Giveth and the Giveth.io.
Awesome. That's super cool. Interactive promotion. Thanks for that, Tommy. Awesome. Okay, anything else? All right, so then I just would like to use our last few minutes. Mitch, in your check-in, you had asked the question about receiving payments in stablecoin or XDAI, since there's been a lot of fluctuation recently. So this sounds like probably something for governance, but I just want to give a few minutes now if Griff or Willie or anyone else from the team has feed forward on this. It's my impression that it's no problem to be paid in a stable coin. I don't want to speak for the
I can
team.
give some context. I agree we should talk about this at governance. I think we would love to do the payments in stablecoins, but right now the reason that we do the payments in PAN is just that's what we have a lot of, basically. So if you look on beta.giveth.io, you'll see we have, I think, over 400,000 PAN in our reserves. So it's the majority of the crypto we have. The reason that we couldn't just trade that all into a stablecoin is that it would like, not only would it crash the market of PAN, but by doing that, we'd get a lot less stablecoin than what its current value is, basically. So that's basically the background about why we're doing payments in PAN. We do have some other, we have some ETH, and we have a little bit of DAI right now in beta.giveth.io. We also have some more ETH and some more DAI, like on ZK Sync and on the old Giveth DAO that we still need to move over. So we do have a little bit more funds. Right now, the way that we calculate the rewards, just a quick background on that, is we take 1/12 at the beginning of the month. We take whatever our total reserves are and divide that by 12, and then basically take that 1/12 of our reserves and then reward that. And we've been doing it in PAN token ever since we ended up with a ton of PAN, basically. We can definitely talk about other ways we want to handle that at the governance, but I just wanted to give that background. And also wanted to mention that I think eventually, what we'll have a lot of is Give tokens. So as soon as Give token launches, I imagine that we'll probably decide, there'll be a good argument for us to decide to reward everybody with Give tokens.
I hear that, and I understand that you have all this PAN and stuff. I guess just for someone who's working on Giveth and kind of expecting to use the stuff that we're given to, pay rent and buy groceries and stuff, it's hard to have that money come in and then lose 35% of its value from when you get paid. So, I mean, it's just like, I understand that those funds are there. It's just like, it's creating some insecurity and some uncertainty there, to put in the hours and the time and then to see that drop. And like, this is stuff that we've hit before with Camp Decentral, playing around with ETH and stuff like that. So it's like, it's not a huge issue for me, but I think in terms of just making sure that, things are clear and that we don't have this kind of like disappointment that happens.
Yeah, I do appreciate you bringing it up. Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, it's reminding me that we're putting a lot of effort into a marketing launch, and we're launching a new application, and we haven't really talked about how this could generate funds for Giveth and bring in some of those stable coins that we could then use to redistribute to people working on it. So remembering and just reminding us all that this launch hopefully will also generate income for Giveth in other forms of currency that we can pay people out in.
I appreciate that now. Yeah. And it's a really good point, Mitch. So I appreciate you sharing the points about how, especially when the price goes down, it can be tough for people who are depending on these payments or expecting these payments to hold their value. So
I don't want to come off as being greedy or any way, but it's like, I really want to put time to this project, but if I end up like not being able to cover my needs, it's like, then like that puts me in a bind.
Totally fair. Totally makes sense. And really appreciate you bringing this up, because I'm sure you're not the only one who's feeling this. So
thank you, Mitch.
From Jamie too, that more funds, we do expect more funds to be coming in soon as donations. And we have the give token launch around the corner. I think we've been really lean. So I do think one thing I'd like to do this next month is maybe do a larger contribution for the past month, especially as like kind of a bonus for getting to launch, I think. And that can help make up for a little bit of the downward pressure in the markets this past month. I think that would be smart. And also, I hear you too on the gas cost. Right now, when we're getting pan on mainnet, it's very expensive for people who do want to convert it. That will be one benefit when if we do want to look at rewarding Give tokens, is that we could, once we do that switch, we could reward tokens on XDAI, which could help mitigate those fees.
Yeah, just send it on XDAI or literally anywhere else, and like you'll save a ton if people are willing to receive them there.
Welcome to crypto, Mitch.
I mean, I'll take it on XDAI or whatever.
You take it on any network, like every good crypto hodler. There's also one discrepancy. Like if you wanna continue regular work on Giveth, so there's no process for that really, and there should be one. How to onboard new regular members, because we basically stomped out a regular team in late summer, and there is a rule with the regular rewards that they have to be in stablecoin because of exactly what you just said, that people wanted stability and they wanted to know, oh, I will make this month much this month much next month. And we should open those discussions, how to get new members, and it's tied to what Donnie said before. I do think that white labeling is a good way to have more of that kind of funding coming in as well. So there are definitely opportunities. It's not solved now, but let's keep pushing for it. And if you want to be a regular part of Giveth and get like a regular salary, you can push it forward, especially because we need to have a process anyway. So it's good you voiced that you want to be a part of it, because I just wanted to make it clear. It's like as a contributor, that's what you get, and it's awesome. I think that we have something for people to give. Like there are maybe some projects out there where you only contribute and get nothing in return. And thank you, because we know it's not as much as you put in. Your time is more valuable.
Yeah, I just want to say I think that's the core piece here, is that the Costa Rica team kind of came in and swooped in and has been adding all this value. But there hasn't been we haven't figured out how to do a Giveth payment system. Like that's not just me having all the HR overhead, basically. And so once that is figured out, then I think it's a lot easier to say, oh, hey, Lauren, Ashley, Mitch, Tommy and all you guys, let's figure out a regular working thing. You're contributing to this project. It'd be nice if you had a stable, dependable salary to go along with the 12% crazy, volatile. I mean, the thing is 1/12. When we do this monthly payment, it's totally erratic. You have no idea how much you're going to get until the last minute anyway. So I feel like it's more okay for that to be in a volatile currency because the amount is so volatile anyway. But then the larger pieces, well, wait, you guys are contributing so much. You should probably have a regular salary like half the rest of the other half of the team. So the challenge there is there's a lot of overhead for me personally, and I can't handle it. So that's the blocker. So it would be so great if we could figure out a way where I didn't have to manually pay everybody every month and pretend to be an HR person. So, but once that's unblocked, I think we should really just figure out a massive Giveth team hiring thing, which is needs to happen for everyone, really.
Well said.
I have to jump to another meeting. I feel like this is a really big topic, and just as long as we introduce it and then we can figure it out, maybe on Discord or another meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aho, thank you so much for bringing this up, Mitch, and speaking your truth and your needs. I'm sure it applies to a lot of people. I've captured some good notes here. I definitely recommend we make this a big point for the governance call to dig into in more depth. And as you mentioned, then always having the Discord channel to discuss and creating proposals. So for now, I just want to say thank you to everyone for your creativity, your presence, your contributions today and always. If you have any other questions or big things that arise, please post in the Discord channel. The notes are saved in Notion. And yeah, thanks everyone for your time today.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye, guys.
And yes, Superfluid, James.
Yeah, man. Let's make it happen.
Oh, you want to integrate it now?
Dude, I don't know.
Hackathon now?
Yeah, like as soon as it's like reasonably possible, right? Like, I mean, I think it's
Matteo
super
can
cool.
do it in a day.
Yeah, he can do anything. For sure. He doesn't sleep. But it could be cool, no? Like you onboard like a bunch of fiat into like a wallet, and then like it just gets paid to a project over time. It's like a kind of sponsorship or something. I think that's fucking excellent.
I think we actually need this. Yeah.
I was thinking about that originally with just Tipbot because I wasn't presented super well. Magenta showed me Superfluid, so I like the steady stream thing. But
Magenta's saying, sorry.
Magenta had shared Superfluid on Bloom a few weeks back, which opened up my eyes to, doing some sort of praise bot thing, some kind of tip fairy thing to drop people. But tip.cc is kind of but I think Superfluid is a great.
I just wonder how much it costs to deploy one of these fluids.
Oh God!
Pretty good gas hedge.
But I think you just pay it once, right? You pay the gas once.
You do, but there are other solutions. If you don't know, Sablier, for example, has that.
We could easily deploy this on XDAI. It wouldn't really matter, right? Like, I think ultimately you need to take an ERC20 token and then you wrap it into a super token, and we could do that anywhere, right?
So many interesting things. That's what I like, to keep Giveth too lean on the surface, so we can have like these modules or plugins, or what do you want to call it?
Yeah, man. Indeed. Well, we need at some point to be able to deploy ERC20 tokens for projects, right? Or causes or something. We need some kind of token unless we start wrapping the Give token and making it super fluid. I don't know.